All right. Hopefully, microphone's working this time around. But we got the new banner for this Lunar New Year's event. Now, there's only three ships. There's a fourth one from, I think, some kind of event. But we're not going to talk about that one. We're going to talk about the three ships on this banner. So, the ships here are going to be I'm going to call her Kuybyshev. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Hopefully, I got it right, though. Theseus and Hwah Jah. So, these three ships. Right. Let's go ahead and talk about them. So, let me a quick video, hopefully. But let's talk about these ships. So, there's three of them. Get right into it. So, Ku is essentially a Chappie sister. Similar stats around the board. 120. She has 4,293 health. 176 firepower, 0 torpedo, 0 aviation, 331 on the anti-air, 196 on the torpedoes, 107 on the evasion, light armor, 33 speed, 166 hit, 73 lock, 147 ASW, and 11 on the oil cost. So very, very, very similar to her sister, Chappie. So you guys see how good Chappie is? Probably similar results to Ku, so there's that. I should call her Cubby because I call Chappie Chappie, so I'll call her Cubby. We'll call her Cubby anyways, like those preschool Cubbies. Anyways, so 130 on the light cruiser gun efficiency, 75 on the DD gun, 120 on the anti-air, about average. I think this is comparable to Chappie, so we will open up Chappie's right here. Yes, it's literally the same thing. It is literally the same thing. So there's that. But what about the skills though? Oh, but she gets one firepower. So there's already really good for those Plymouth users out there for one extra firepower for Plymouth. Yeah, there's that. Regardless though, let's talk about our skills. Unyielding Pathfinder. Once after the battle starts and with a 70% chance every 20 seconds, fires a level 10 special barrage based on skills damage. Now, let's go ahead and look at the skills real quick. Hopefully I have it. Otherwise, or hopefully the website has it. Otherwise, we're gonna start crying about it, that's for sure. I think it's over here if I go down list or whatever. Just see available right here. There we go. Now, hopefully they have skills available. Do they? No? No one has her leveled up. All right, well, someone's gonna figure it out. Depending on the barrage, I assume it's similar to Chappie's barrage. Chappie has a barrage that's like pretty decent. I say that when she first came out, she was a pretty like decent Vanguard back in the day because there weren't many options. Still very good DPS Vanguard overall for light cruisers. So if you want something similar to her performance, then Cubby would probably be the way to go. So there's that. 3 seconds, 70% chance though. I think. All right, Chappie's also 70% chance. So hopefully you guys high rolled that. Otherwise, you're not gonna be procking things. The second skill, Hope is Calamity's handmaiden. I was gonna say hands maiden. Don't know about that one. The skill says when the battle starts, increase the ship's firepower and accuracy by 15%, and if there are any other Northern Parliament ships in the fleet, decrease this ship's cannon damage taken by 10%. Cannon damage. I'm going to assume just gun damage, so. Alright, that's something. Once per battle, when this ship has lost a total of 25% for max HP in a battle, restores 8% of that ship's max HP. Also increases this is part of a different skill. Increase your Northern Parliament Vanguard's crit damage by 30%. So, pretty much, this is really good for Chappie Vanguard setups as well as Kronstadt setups. So, in terms of like the biggest damage dealers for Vanguards right now for Northern Parliament, it is definitely going to be the Chappie and Kronstadt right here. The other Vanguards aren't going to be comparable. Well, probably some janky torpedo stuff, but we're not going to talk about that. But Chappie, Kronstadt probably like the go-to as of right now for when it comes to Vanguard damage for Northern Parliament. So if you want to run something like Cubby, Chappie, maybe toss an Avro for extra damage increase, you can definitely do that. Or toss in Kronstadt. but having that 30% extra crit damage makes Vanguard do a significant more damage, assuming you crit. But 30% crit damage though is pretty nice to have. I will say Vanguards don't have like the greatest damage output, so 30% is like enormous. So it's like a whatever buff, but if you do crit though, that's pretty nice. So extra buff, damage decrease, restores a little bit of HP, kind of like a zombie skill, which is common nowadays. Not bad, not bad, not bad. And then her all-out assault every 10 times fires a main gun. So for the most part, she is very similar to her sister Chappie. Now back then I praised Chappie very highly, but she came out like 2 years ago, so that was like way long time ago. She has aged quite a bit, but definitely still is a decent Vanguard if you guys want this overall Vanguard DPS. So if you want to run Cubby and Chappie together, that's something you can definitely do. They both get the 30% crit damage right here. And if you want to test in like a buff, toss in like a buffer like Avra, they can definitely do that. If you want to toss in Kronstadt for a little beefier Vanguard durability, definitely can do that as well too. 30% crit damage is definitely gonna be nice. So definitely like that buff. It's just very hard to get crit rate nowadays, so crit damage is like whatever. Honestly, I would prefer if this game focused more towards getting crit rate rather than crit damage. I like consistency. I don't like sitting there and gambling with RNG. I definitely do prefer if they add more crit rate to this game rather than crit damage. That's just me saying it though. Alright, so I believe that covers Cubby. The next ship we'll talk about is Theseus. So, Royal Navy Theseus. Colossus class ship, so similar to her sister Perseus. Light aircraft carrier at 120, 4,952 health, 0 firepower, 0 torpedo, 423 on the aviation, 264 on the anti-air, 165 on reload, 67 evasion, medium armor, 25 speed, 98 hits, 71 luck, 125 on ASW, and 13 on the oil cost. So once again, we have another sister ship, kind of similar on stats, but this one's more aimed, has much higher aviation by 100. But the trade-off is that she has about 500 less health compared to Perseus, or 600, I mean. So that's the trade-off. But she did get a lot of damage compared to Perseus, so there is that. Anyways, though, when it comes to efficiency, 110 on the fighters, 125 on the dive bombers, 150 on torpedo bombers, 233 on the plane loadout. So more aimed towards doing just wave clearing stuff. Dive bombers at 3, torpedo bombers at 3, definitely good for wave clearing. Can't go wrong with that. And we have +2 aviation, but this is for light carriers only, so that's the downside. But +2 aviation, free damage, can't go wrong with it. So not bad, not bad. Skills though, Ariane's Conundrum. I think I butchered that. 3 seconds after the battle starts, or when this ship launches an airstrike, launches an additional level 10 special airstrike based on skills damage based on skills level. Increases ship's damage dealt by 15% against enemies that have been afloat for 10 seconds or longer. So this is a very peculiar skill because mobs don't usually last longer than 10 seconds. So the only scenario where this is going to be really helpful is during bossing content. Now, she's not the best bosser by all means. She has the aviation staff for it, and the plane loadout is not bad. Honestly, she probably does have potential to do bossing damage. I haven't tested it yet. Could be wrong, but I feel like she could have potential to do some bossing damage. I really do believe that. Not to mention her second skill, Phaedra's Longing, increases ship's aviation and accuracy by 15%. Every 12 seconds fires a level 10 special barrage based on skills level, and this ship's aviation stacked. So she could have bossing potential. I really do feel like that. But the problem is that some bosses nowadays can hit backline, and she's very, very squishy. She has about half the HP of some of the UR carriers in this game. She has about 1,000 to 2,000 lower health compared to other aircraft carriers in the game as well too. But she does have bossing potential. Now I'm not gonna say it's crazy bossing potential, but she does have bossing potential for her kit. But it is interesting though because she is a light carrier. I haven't seen a light carrier bosser in ever. Well, maybe Ranger, but Ranger is super RNG, so can't really say she's gonna be like super crazy. But she does have bossing potential though. She does. Athena's Aegis, every 10 seconds after the battle starts, restores 1% of the ship's max HP. When this ship has the out of ammo debuff, decrease the debuff's damage reduction effect by 15%. When the fleet this ship is in sinks an enemy fleet, decrease the ship's damage taken by 3.5% for the rest of the sortie. So the whole fight, you get a 3.5% damage reduction. That's actually really solid. So now it tells me that this ship has decent World 14 potential. What I mean by this is that it has self-regen, it has the out of ammo debuff, it has a permanent damage reduction for the rest of story, stacking up 3.5% up to 3 times, and he has this if enemies have been afloat for 10 seconds or longer. So not only bossing content, there are some durable ships in World 14 that last quite a while. So this right here is actually pretty good. So they built this ship in intent with much harder content in the game, probably World 14. There is some bossing potential in this ship, but for the most part though, I'm pretty sure it was designed for World 14. Now as a World 14 ship, I feel like there are better options out there, like Albion, Perseus. I would definitely consider them much better compared to Theseus when it comes to World 14. But she does have some utility, I guess. She has a lot of barrages, so that's good. Has damage increase for herself primarily, but for the most part, though, she is lacking on like the utility for a team. She's very selfish, but she has a lot of damage reduction, so she's not gonna sink that easily. But it's just lacking for like overall team utility. So I'm kind of like whatever about it. Overall, though, can be used for scenarios in the later stages of the game. Like if you want to do World 12, World 13, definitely has potential there. But when it comes to like later stages, I feel like Albion and Perseus is way better as Royal Navy carrier options compared to Theseus when it comes to campaign stuff. That's just me though. And lastly, Hwah Jah, the Dragon Emperor light aircraft carrier. At 120, we have 4,849 health, 0 firepower, 0 torpedo, 330 aviation, 145 on the anti-air, 175 on reload, 52 on evasion, medium armor, 12 speed, 87 hit, 53 luck, 0 ASW, and 11 on oil cost. So again, we have these light carriers in Dragon Emperor that are very, very sus. I remember, if I remember Chen Hai was like, whew, that ship was beyond horrendous. So yeah. We do have 2 seaplanes though. I'm not a big fan of seaplanes. I don't like how they work in the game. I really, really don't. So not a big fan of them, but if you guys do want to use them, go for it. I'm not going to judge the ship as of yet, but I will say I just don't like seaplanes though. Just don't like seaplanes. And anti-air is 80%, so that. But the ship is automatically good because this ship gives +1 reload to all carriers. So whether you like this ship or not, doesn't matter because she gives +1 reload. You can get her to 120 regardless. I know I am. I want that reload badly, so I'll take it. And her skills are Blessing through Benevolence. When the battle starts, for each Dragon Emperor ship in your fleet, increase the ship's aviation and accuracy by 4%. If there is any other Dragon Emperor ship in your fleet, decrease this ship's damage taken by 10%. When this ship launches an airstrike, decrease your Vanguard damage taken by 15%. For 8 seconds, does not stack with a skill air cover. So if you want to run stuff like the High Sisters or the Chinese DDs, this is definitely an option you can do here. Damage I'm just like damage taken. Damage reduction is always nice to have, but like I just don't know. I feel like some ships are just way too paper even with it, so I don't know how I feel about that. But the buff along with Dragon Emperor though, so you pretty much have to use her with like either the High Sisters or Chinese DDs. The Chang's Chun and Anshan. So if you want to use those, probably that like you have to use it, otherwise you won't get buffed though. And Brave Beauty, when this ship launches an airstrike, increase this ship's damage taken by 5% until the end of the battle, can stack up 3 times, and launches additional level 10 special airstrike. So 5% end of the battle, 3 damage I guess, but seaplanes those, so it's kind of like whatever. Anyways, let's give the general ratings for the ships. So Cubby here, pretty much similar to Chappie. +1 firepower to light cruiser, always nice to have. Otherwise, you can probably expect a similar performance to how Chappie would be. So if Chappie's already good for you as of right now, you can probably expect similar results by having Cubby. She buffs crit damage for Vanguards for Northern Parliament, so you'll run like either a combination of Kronstadt, Avra, Chappie, or Cubby. Any 3 combinations of those, they will get a 30% damage crit damage increase. So 3 buffs right there, can't go wrong with it. You're gonna have problems critting, but that's like a lot of ships in the game, except like New Jersey. So yeah. Overall though, not terrible of a ship. Theseus here, probably a harder campaign ship pusher. 12, 13, 14 content is right up her alley. Has good wave clear, has potential to be a good bosser as well too. Have to do more result testing on that, but for the most part though, can't compete with UR carriers though, but probably has like decent value when it comes to bossing, I feel. Otherwise though, she is a selfish light aircraft carrier. If you're doing World 12 stuff, you're better off bringing like an Albion or a Perseus because they offer much more to the team rather than being selfish. Has decent damage for a light aircraft carrier, but overall though, just very selfish, and then yeah, just a selfish light aircraft carrier by all means. And she looks like Bochi, so Bochi the ship. And in Hwah Jah, we have seaplanes here. Not a fan of seaplanes. I'm hoping Hwah Jah isn't nearly as bad as Chen Hai, because that ship was absolutely horrendous. But she is good though because she has that +1 perma reload though, so can't go wrong with it. So overall, my ratings of these ships and the priorities, if this is worth pulling for, is as follows. So overall, none of these ships are spectacular. They really aren't. But they do give some nice permastats. Cubby gives +1 firepower to light cruisers, and the best light cruiser right now is Plymouth, so she would benefit off that. Theseus gives +2 aviation, but for light aircraft, so Perseus could benefit off that if you are using Perseus, so can't go wrong with that. And then Hwah Jah gives +1 reload to light aircraft carriers and carriers, so that's mandatory right there. So I'm not going to put them as the top priority, but these ships are definitely nice to have for permastat reasons. Otherwise, if you guys are new players, you can skip this banner if you want to. There is some time before the next big events are going to drop. We do have a new event probably very soon, but I don't think it's not going to be a UR event by all means. This is going to be like a few months later on. So up to you guys. If you guys are low on cubes right now, you can definitely skip on this banner as a new player. Otherwise though, if you like these characters, these ships, go ahead and pull for them. I'm not going to stop you. So that's it for that video, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. I gotta pee right now, so I've held that in for like 20 minutes. That felt really bad. Thank you guys for watching as always. See you guys next video. I'm out, guys. Peace.